Welcome to Push Pads 101. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to talk push pads just a little bit. So we have a couple different options that can happen. I've got everything you can order from our warehouse laying here, but let's start with the simplest concept. When I push that push pad and it opens that door, all I'm doing when I press is I'm closing a switch, basically like a light switch on your house, but it's one click. In this case, this one is actually wired through the wall, comes up through our door, and brings our two wires right here. And that is how we're opening this door. It is just basically one switch that says, hey, open up, and it opens up. Where it gets a little more complicated is when you're dealing with stuff that isn't run through the wall, which is what we're going to talk about right now. Now, push pads all look the same. However, they can be different. In this case, if you have an older, or we'll call it legacy store, you may have a push pad that has a 318 megahertz transmitter and receiver. How do I know I have that? Well, it'll have an antenna like that, and it'll have like an analog cable, and that is what you may have to replace. You may get a call, hey, my push pad got damaged, and if your transmitter got damaged and you have an old receiver, you cannot take a new transmitter like this one, which is a 900 megahertz transmitter, and get it to work with a 318 megahertz transmitter. However, say our push pad got damaged, it's cracked, and our transmitter is still good, and these two are still working together correctly, you can at that point use these two again. You would just have to move this transmitter into your new pad, and that's not that bad. That keeps you running, and hey, why change it if it works, right? Now, it got damaged, or you're in a situation where you need to upgrade it because, I don't know, you just need to upgrade it. Your push pad may come with a 900 megahertz transmitter, which this one did. This is 712124. This one did come with it, and a nice pack of batteries. And when you put that in, you're gonna look on the back. You're gonna have on here a normally closed, normally open, and a common. Well, one wire goes to common. Which one do I choose over here? Normally open. So normally closed would be it's always closed until I push the button. And normally open is it's normally always open until I push the button and then it closes. So that's how a light switch technically would work at your house. When it's down, it's off. When it's sitting here and you lift it up, it turns it on. In this case, we just want to press it once quick, and that's all that needs. Just a pulse to say, hey, open up. All right, so that's where we would put our wires. Nice and simple. You also may just need to get a transmitter. This receiver breaks. I don't know, something happens to it. Stuff happens, right? Electronics. 762-746 is just your transmitter on its own. And then you could just replace a transmitter. If you are putting in a 900 megahertz transmitter, you need a 900 megahertz receiver. That is going to be 762-977. Now, when you're installing one of these, they're not too bad at all. They can look a little bit scary because there's a million wires on it, but just break it down by what it is in front of you. This top one is your antenna. Don't wire that to anything. It's really short because it's not meant to go anywhere. It's an antenna. Red and black typically always signifies power. So in this application, you can see it is 12 to 24 volts. So let's go take a peek at our unit that's up and inside here. So if we pull him down and we take a look, our two are red and black, go up, and they travel over to a 24 volt transformer. So on that transformer, you have your red and your black coming off, and that's your 24 volts. Doesn't matter which one it goes to, no, because they're both red. So it is what it is. What you don't want to put them to is your 120 volts. That will make your 900 megahertz transmitter or receiver into a pile of ash. Next, you've got 3 other wires coming out. Now the annoying part about this is they chose green. Green typically always means ground in people's minds, but in this application, white is common, green is normally open, and yellow, if you look really closely, is normally closed. So we just got done talking about we're using the normally open on a pad. We're going to use the normally open on this. So where do our wires go? Well, they go up, and if we look closely in this giant bundle of wires, we should see they're both green and white. Whoops, sorry for blocking. Should go down to the controller. And then if we flip over the bundle of wires, we're gonna see yellow doesn't go anywhere. And that's perfectly okay. Now, we've gotten that far, and that's great. Now we have a transmitter, and we've got a receiver. And they're both installed. Awesome, great. Now we need to pair them, because they naturally don't know each other. In this case, when we're programming this unit at Kwik, it's very, very simple. We are using these in the most simple fashion possible. There's a giant direction packet. Most of this doesn't matter because we don't use the delays and the different pulses and the different hold opens, so there's not really a need to go through all of those. What you need to know is all 3 of your dip switches should be in off, so in the down position. You do not need any of that functionality. When you're learning, if you read on here, it says learn. This is the delay button. We don't use delay. We don't need that. So these 2 things right here, this button and this little dial, are not used. That one is. That's switch 1. No delay. That's literally the only one you have to press. You're going to press it and hold it, and then it's going to turn on and flash, and I will actually show you that. So let's go pair this. All right, once the door closes, we will pair it. All right, to pair, we're going to press and hold the learn button until we get to there. And now we're going to press. I pressed it 3 times, but I'm pretty sure the directions say twice. And there you go. Now this pad that was originally paired to it is now paired again. Hopefully that helps you out. If you have questions, go ahead and throw them down in the comments. I can always film and kind of move that around if you would like. This is kind of where I'm at. Oh, there is one extra thing that I forgot. Hey, I got a pad on the wall. These 2 holes right here have a screw behind them, so there's an Allen head, a little itty bitty one. You're gonna go behind that, loosen that. You just have to loosen it. You don't have to take it all the way out. Pad lifts up and then pulls out. There should not be line voltage here. This is always going to be a lower voltage. So you are safe to take that off without powering down. It's just going to be the voltage going to the board. You're just telling the board to open up. So, all right, I think that's it. If you have any other questions, hit me up down in the comments. Otherwise, hopefully that helps you out. We'll see you next time.